So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to give a very warm welcome to Nitin Mantri, Group CEO of AvianWE, who is here to talk about the UAE India partnership on the ground in a session titled Collaborative Constructs. Please give a very warm welcome to Nitin Mantri and his panel. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Laura. So, Neeraj, Abhimanyu, thank you for coming here at the IGF in person. We've heard from a lot of dignitaries in the morning, and we've had a lot of sessions with some unicorns in the morning. It's been quite interesting. So just a quick introduction. Neeraj is the Senior Executive Vice President and the Group Head International and Group Strategy at Emirates NBD. And of course, he's been working with the bank for a long time, for over 3 years. Abhimanyu is the CEO of Fincorp, which is one of India's fastest growing NBFCs, and an interesting statistics is that they disperse a loan every 3 seconds.
Every 6 minutes. Every 6 minutes.
So on that note, I'm going to kick off. We have limited time. So Neeraj, I'm going to kick off with you. How do you see India as a partner for UAE? Why is it special for NBD?
It's a very special relationship, right? I'll first talk at the country level, and then I talk specific from an Emirates NBD perspective. As a country level, I think so a lot has been said before in the session as to the strong partnership India has, the trade connect. The Foreign Secretary talked about that we've been trading together. India is probably one of the largest trade partners for UAE. I believe more than $60 billion of trade happens annually. And there is a expectation, or at least a desire to take that to about $100 billion from both the countries, which have been said by His Excellency Mr. Piyush Goyal and Dr. Thani Al-Zodi also, previously also in terms of where do we want to see the India relationship go. And obviously, there has been investments from India to UAE, from UAE to India. So it's a very strong connect. For us at Emirates NBD, if you look at it, we've got about 40% of our staff are Indians. Nearly 1/3 of our customers are Indians. I did joke with one of the deputy governors of RBI 4 or 5 years ago when we were applying for a maiden license in India. That looks, this is effectively an Indian bank run by Indians. It's just regulated by a UAE central bank. So that's what India means to Emirates NBD, and it's a very, very strong connect.
That's very impressive statistics. Abhimanyu, I know you were chatting earlier, and you said you've been spending a lot of time in Dubai since the pandemic, but also why is UAE? I mean, professionally, why is UAE such a special partner for Hero now?
Yeah. So thanks, Nitin. I think. Hero Group, we have diversified businesses. We have our parent business, which is our two-wheeler manufacturing business, which is Hero MotoCorp, world's largest two-wheeler manufacturer. We have a renewable energy business, which is Hero Future Energy, based out of UK. And then we have the financial services business, Hero Fincorp, which I represent. I think UAE is a very interesting country. It's got 3.5 million Indians who stay in UAE, and it's for sometimes I say it's probably a extension to India and one city in India, right? And for us professionally, I see UAE as a hub for attracting talent. Really, for a successful business these days, technology and analytics has become a very important yet a scarce skill, and really evaluating, can we create a tech center, analytical center in UAE, because UAE attracts the best skills from all over the world, not only India, but you can access the talent from across the globe. So that's one of the reasons why UAE is very attractive to us. And of course, capital. UAE is probably one of the largest capital providers of India, whether it's debt or equity, through sovereign or through our friend here in Emirates NBD. So I think it is a conduit not only for local UAE capital to India, but also a conduit for global capital from the Western worlds. So it's pretty exciting for us professionally and for the Hero Group, because I think it opens the globe's doors for us.
Exciting. I mean, you're talking about capital and talent availability. We also want to talk about how is the UAE India partnership working on the ground. And it'll be interesting if you can talk to us about the work that your two companies have done together. I know you may not be able to go into specifics, but just if you can give an overall generic view, that'll be interesting. That'll be good for viewers.
So look, as we said, Hero Group has been a good partner for Emirates NBD. We have a relationship with them. We will not talk about the specifics, but we do have a good working relationship with the Hero Group. We are working across their different businesses to develop, further products and services which we can supply them. In fact, right now, while we were standing, we were talking about that Hero Group is, exports a whole lot of mobiles to this region, right? And to wider Africa. Now, that is an area, again, we can look to collaborate on that for them to be very, very sure about the payments being secure or the payments coming against the goods which they are delivering to these countries. We obviously know banks and know clients across that North Africa region in the UAE, and we can help them have that, the payment surety, the risk participation, as we bankers try to call it with the thing. So we can help in terms of risk participation, making sure that the supply chain financing is there, both from a distributor angle and giving them the surety of the payments out there.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so I think, like Neeraj mentioned, we won't get into specifics, but we've had a long-standing relationship with Emirates NBD. They have been holders of the Hero Fincorp bond for some time, and they are participating in other parts of the group. So one of the parts that I mentioned on liquidity and capital, I see Emirates NBD to play a very important role for Hero Fincorp, as well as whatever little wealth that I've made personally, I bank with them. So apart from Hero, I think they've taken some share of my personal wealth, and we share a good relationship. And I hope that we can make it deeper. And I can tell you, this is a relationship of winners. But I'm sure that we will do bigger and better things together with Emirates NBD.
Hey, thanks so much for that. We'll soon be hearing from Ministers Piyush Goyal and Thani Ahmed Al-Zayudi in a little while on the special ties that India and UAE have forged at a political level. Can you tell us how that background has helped facilitate a larger expanded Indian and Emirati presence for both of you?
I think the leadership of both the countries have been extremely influential. I can give again a personal example that when we were looking at opening a maiden branch, we've been present in India as a rep office since the year 2000. But since then, we had tried a couple of times to get a branch license in India. But for various reasons at that point of time, financial crisis and all, we couldn't move ahead. Come 2014, 2015, when we wanted to kind of enter India again and we went through, that time I think there was a huge support by the Indian government, RBI, in terms of opening a way for us to get the branch license, and the support which was provided by His Excellency Dr. Al-Banna, the ambassador to India, and of course the UAE Central Bank. So and I think Dr. Shringla was talking about the connect which we had with His Highness the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi making his maiden visit, then Prime Minister Modi coming down here. I think that cemented the relationship a lot more. So at the government to government level, when the connect was there, then it became a lot more easier for us to kind of progress in terms of whatever regulatory approvals and all which were needed, which probably used to take a much longer time, but those things were fast tracked for us. And just recently, again, using those conduits and all and everything, we've been able to get 2 new branches in India. So we will be opening up soon in Gurugram, or Gurgaon as you call it, earlier, and in Chennai. So 2 new branches of Emirates NBD coming up, which will take our strength to 3 branches in India.
Great. I look forward to banking with those banks as well. But yeah, I think, for us at the Hero Group, UAE is a very important part of our strategy. To start with, we have a relationship with Masdar, Masdar is a Mubadala company, which is the Abu Dhabi sovereign fund, and they are partners with us in our renewable energy business. So they invested with us in 2019. They've partnered with the Hero Group, and we are growing that renewable energy business with a common vision of making the world a better place and sustainability. So we have very deep ties, which I think has obviously, I echo what he said in terms of leadership. Because of our both Indian leadership and the UAE leadership, these kind of investments and ties could happen. Secondly, from the two-wheeler business, we have just appointed a distributor in Africa, and he's appointed a dealer in UAE. So we really see a lot of opportunity here to really flood our two-wheelers in the UAE. And thirdly, like I mentioned earlier, from Fincorp, which I represent, the financing business, I think there is a real opportunity to create a technology and analytical hub here, right? Which because of what conversations are going to happen with our leadership and the willing to do more will be possible. And not only that, I think accessing liquidity for both debt and capital markets, debt and equity markets is going to be a big flavor for us going forward. And I think the UAE market itself for financing is very big. So this is something that we are evaluating as a next step. In fact, like I mentioned, there are 3.5 million Indians here, and we already serve a few of them as non-resident Indian clients. We serve them for home loans and other stuff in India. So we are actually evaluating to create a distribution center here, which will also enable us to serve this market better. So all of this is possible because of the ties that have happened at the leadership level between UAE and India.
Great. The theme of this conference, we've spoken a lot about India's growing tech presence and influence during this conference in the morning, and we'll talk a lot more after this session. How are your companies really working to support the next generation of, Emirati and Indian unicorns and businesses?
Yeah. So look, we as a bank, we say that the banks of the future are going to be technology companies which also provide financial services,
yes.
Right? That's the way we are moving. So we at Emirates NBD have been at the forefront of using technology to enhance our services, get onto the digital front. And from that perspective, we are trying to work with a lot of fintechs, whether those fintechs are coming out of the region or whether those fintechs are coming out of India. We, of course, are not a venture capital fund or a private equity fund that we would go and fund them or whatever. But the way we are trying to work with these technology companies or these startups which are coming up is we very openly try to partner with them, look at what are the products and services which they have to offer, and does they fit a need of Emirates NBD in terms of providing a particular solution for the clients, whether it be on the retail banking side, corporate banking side, or payments. And we've talked to a few companies who recently become unicorns or got a very exalted status. So we try to work with them from that perspective. And of course, as we are present in India and as we are present out here, for their day-to-day banking needs, we are obviously there. So for startups and all in UAE, we have a very specific program through our business banking where these startups can come and avail of banking facilities from Emirates NBD.
So we are great supporters of entrepreneurship, right? From the company, from Hero Fincorp's perspective, we strongly believe that this goal of our Prime Minister to get to a $5 trillion economy, there needs to be a lot of credit growth. And this credit growth cannot be done alone by conventional banks and NBFCs. We will have to partner with tech companies. We will have to partner with fintech companies, and we have been partnering through this journey across acquisition, across collections, across disbursements, across the customer life cycle. We have partnered with many of these unicorns who provide us services. So one, we look at services from them. Second, as Hero Fincorp, we do venture funding to these large unicorns, and we have done quite a bit of it. It's not venture equity, it's venture debt, because I'm a debt provider, and really help the entrepreneurs not to dilute too early, right? So if they don't want to dilute too early and go for the sharks who are sitting out there, they can come to us and we help them build their dream by holding that equity preservation. So I think we are great supporters. Apart from Hero Fincorp and the Hero Group, personally, we run a venture fund and we've invested in multiple businesses across the globe, in India, in the US. We have the largest rideshare company in India, insurtech company, Policy Bazaar is some business that we had seed funded, and so on and so forth. And I think I'm very excited to see the innovation that's happening in UAE. Since I've become an Emirates NBD customer, their app, their tech, I think is far superior than some of the banks used in India. So I see a huge opportunity for actually an exchange program to happen between India and UAE to see the best out of here, what's happening in financial services. Since the population in UAE is smaller, it's more controlled, I think they are at a cutting edge level. So a lot to learn to take back home to India and vice versa. So we are great supporters, and I think the way forward would be partner with each other in learning experiences and the technology innovations that both countries and private entrepreneurs are doing in both countries.
Thanks, Abhimanyu. I know we're running out of time, so last question really. One piece of advice both of you can give for UAE companies going to India or Indian companies coming to the UAE, one piece of advice for companies looking to invest or start businesses here.
Look, I think the one piece of advice is when you go to a new country, you have to be very careful, what your focus is, Try not to spread ourselves, too far and too out. Focus on the key things. Look at those small wins as you go forward, establishing yourself into a new country. The opportunity is there. The opportunity is huge. We see that through the various interactions we have with our clients. We bank more than 100 Indian corporates. We've got relationship with more than 40 financial institutions in India, and we're looking to grow that more. So from that perspective, I think the opportunity is there. I think learn from people who've already done this stuff, and of course I also believe, and I've seen that happening from very close quarters, that using your missions in respective countries can also be very beneficial. We've been helped a lot by the UAE mission in India, and we can see that, and I've seen the Indian embassy or the Indian consulate out here. The amount of work which it is doing on the business side is tremendous to help Indian businessmen based out here or businessmen coming to set up and establish out here. I think there's a great connection. Utilize that.
Thanks, Neeraj.
I think I would completely echo with what Neeraj said on using the infrastructure that the governments have created, right? And the Indian Consul General or the embassy really is very helpful. And I would also say one mantra to go out would be, don't try and do everything yourself, partner. I think partnership is very important. If you can look at a local partner who understands the business, who understands the lay of land, it's really, really important, because it's a new country, new world, new culture. So one, partner and adapt to that culture. I think there are two things that is extremely important for international.
Fully agree with Abhimanyu. Partnership is very, very important, and understanding the local lay of the land, the culture, or how things happen. That's very important to be successful in those markets.
Great. Abhimanyu, Neeraj, thank you so much. I think, I think what my takeaways were really talent, localization, as in understanding local partner, and the support you're getting from missions, right, which is very, very critical. So thank you for your time, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.